ब्रह्ममुरारिसुराचितलिङ्गं निर्मलभाषितशोभितलिङ्गं जन्मज दुःखविनाशकलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदाशिवलिङ्गं देवमुनिप्रवराचितलिङ्गं कामदनाकरुणाकरलिङ्गं रावणदर्पविनाशनलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदाशिवलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदाशिवलिङ्गं सरसुगन्धसुलेपितलिङ्गं बुद्धिविवर्धनकारणलिङ्गं सिद्धसुरासुरवन्दितलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदाशिवलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदाशिवलिङ्गं कनकमहामणिभूषितलिङ्गं फणिपतिवेशितशोभितलिङ्गं दक्षसुयाननिनासनलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदाशिवलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदाशिवलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदाशिवलिङ्गं. Yeah, so to the disappointment of some or many, I'm still here, and I'll be here for a while, right? I'm still here and I'll be here for a while on earth, right? So I came to wrap up one last course that I actually forgot. It slipped me, but I'm disappointed in myself that this slipped me, because it's one of the most important courses, and in fact is actually the whole point of sociology, which is solving social problems, right? How can we solve social problems, right? And it's actually the right time to teach this course, because the first step is dealing with yourself as an individual, and the second step is the treating with family, right? Family, which we have reached. So the last course was sociology of family, and after that, that is not the end. That is actually where it starts. Family is where it starts, right? So after building a moral family, after building and creating a moral family, your job doesn't end there, right? Your task doesn't end there. So you all see the kind of work it took to actually build yourself as a healthy self, and then the work it takes to actually be a member of a moral family. And then no, the job is not done, because the job of sociology, point of sociology, is to solve social problems, right? So this final course I'll be doing is the sociology of crime. Sociology of crime, also known as criminal sociology, right? Yeah, because we want to solve the problem of crime in Trinidad and Tobago. Do the job that, or teach how this job can actually be done seamlessly, right? Teach how this can be achieved seamlessly, right? Now there's no ideal world, there's no perfect world, but there's something called change, right? There's something called change, individual change, that can lead to social change, societal change. Now this change can only be brought about, this change in a crime situation, and by the way, dealing with this issue of sociology and crime, there's no telling by the end of this video series who's going to end up in jail and who's going to end up dead, right? Just saying, because of the kind of things that you all do and do to others, right? There's no telling who is going to end up in jail and who's going to end up dead, right? But we are about natural law and natural justice here. We don't propagate the man-made legislation and man-made jail and all this kind of thing, right? But if you choose to deal up with a system, the only natural consequence of dealing up with that system is ending up in that system, right? So anyhow, we are talking about the sociology of crime, and how can we solve in Trinidad and Tobago, in the Caribbean, and also in the world, right? But we're more narrowing down the scope to Trinidad and Tobago, because that's still my home. That's still home to me, right? But it can be applied, right? Right? That's like when we do literature reviews and stuff, we use studies. We use the studies of all over the world, right? International journals, articles, and so on. But then we extract that which is relevant and we apply it to our current study, right? We apply it to our current study. So the current study is how can we solve crime in Trinidad and Tobago, right? How can we solve crime? So the problem of crime cannot be solved by coming in a classroom and describing what crime is. The problem of crime is never going to be solved. And this is answering the question of why is there still crime in the world. So we're dealing with blue collar crime today, right? Blue collar crime, which is the crime of like I taking up a gun and shooting you, I stabbing you, right? Blue collar crime, right? That level of crime, not white collar crime, which we will deal with another day. We're dealing with blue collar crime, gang warfare, these kind of things, right? How can we solve this problem of crime locally? And this video answers the question of why there has been for so many years a sociology department and no solution to crime. Why is there a government one and no solution to crime when government and why is there police one and there's no solution to crime? Why is there government and there's no solution to crime? Why is there a sociology department and there's no solution to crime? Why is there a psychology department and there's not yet a solution to crime, right? It's because you all don't have the right answer. The right answer is because you all try to provide worldly solutions, right? You all try to provide worldly solutions, and the solution is a spiritual one, right? The solution to the problems that we face can only be solved via a spiritual solution, and this is why I have created the spiritual sociology to really get to the root of the problems that we face. Getting to the root of the problems that we face, right? So I was wondering how much of the sociology lecturers, tutors, and all these things across the world, right, would actually be willing to leave their universities, right, throughout the world. Are you willing to leave your university and come to Trinidad and Tobago and actually help to deal with the problem of crime? Because our university not interested in doing that now, right? They're just interested in describing the problem, coming in the class and saying, hey, define what is the definition of crime, go and read this journal article and do a lit review and do a theoretical study, right? They are really not interested in solving the real hardcore issue, right? So I was wondering if there's any international sociologists who are willing to actually come and help to solve the problem of crime, the crime problem in Trinidad and Tobago, because sociology is supposed to be about solving the crime situation, right? And utilizing the spiritual sociology framework that I have developed, right? Utilizing this framework that I have developed, I was wondering if there's anyone who is willing to come to TNT and help to solve this problem. First of all, I was wondering if there's any sociology lecturers and so on abroad who actually willing to come with me, right, to stereotyped crime areas, right? Stereotyped crime areas where probably many of the high class sociology lecturers and stuff probably wouldn't dare to step a foot in areas that they wouldn't dare to step foot in, right? High level lecturers I'm talking about, right? I remember a time I went with my ex there, right? If he watching this video, he would recall quite vividly, right? We went to one of those stereotyped crime riddled areas in Trinidad, and we took a nice photo and stuff, a nature photo, and I posted it on my Facebook, and I was like, I'm relaxing, right, in this area, and people was like shocked. They was like, what? I was like, wow. I was like, what are you doing there? Be safe, right? Why I must have to constantly watch my back? Why must I have to constantly watch my back in my own country? But I wasn't concerned about that, right? I wasn't concerned about that. And just like how I am here in this country and I go roaming wherever, right? Because I shouldn't have to be watching my back neither in my country. I shouldn't have to be watching my back all the time in another country either, because we're supposed to be at home wherever we are, right? We are supposed to feel at home wherever we are, right? So the spiritual solution after building a moral family, the spiritual solution to solving the crime situation is the obvious thing: to build a moral society, build a moral nation, build a moral country, right? And people, it is so ridiculously simple how simple the solution is, and we continue to think that oh, the police, the government have to buy a blimp, right? You all remember the blimp in Trinidad is like a flying balloon airplane or whatever that they used to monitor crime, that they say that they was using to monitor crime and whatever, right? All kind of mad solutions these people coming up with, all kind of stupid solutions that they coming up with, right? Nothing work to solve criminal activities on the road. What was the thing by they monitoring using these I forget what they call it, but these cameras they have with police and every junction monitoring your speed, right? The speed cameras and whatever, right? But and this worked for like 2 minutes and then everybody forget about that, right? These things are not the solutions. It will never be the solutions. It was never the solutions yesterday. It is not the solution today, and it will never be the solution to solving crime from the root, right? Building a moral family, being a moral human being, building a moral family, and then building a moral country is the only solution, right, to solving the crime situation. And it answers the question of why is there a sociology unit in our Caribbean, and why are there sociology departments all over the world, and blue collar crime still exists and white collar crime exists. Know that we are not looking to create an ideal society, right? We are just looking to propel change. It's not an ideal society that we're looking for. That is not possible, right? At least not yet. That is not possible. But taking these solutions that are being offered and actually implementing it individually, each individual, right? You don't have to do it in a whole mass one time. It's not even possible to do that. Individually changing one's mentality one person at a time, right? Changing one's mentality one person at a time is the only way that we could help to change this mad society that we reside in, right? So that's why, and people would have gotten mad for me when I talk about the repatriation history, right? Why I don't propose this, and people would be saying, oh well, I am Indian, whatever. I don't understand the tragedy of the African slave trade and whatever, right? I get that I understand that standpoint, because there's something in source and stuff called standpoint epistemology, right? Which is only when you are situated in a particular experience that you can understand what that says ethnicity, says gender, says whatever, right? There is a valid concept, right? A valid concept, meaning that because you are situated in a particular experience, only you are able to understand that experience, right? But the goal of sociology is to look beyond oneself, right? Because if you keep within that standpoint epistemology framework and use that lens to see life, right, you will not be looking beyond yourself, right? And the point of sociology really is to utilize the sociological imagination, which is connecting your personal experience to the wider society in which you live, right? So whilst I understand that concept of, okay, I am Indian and maybe I will not understand the tragedy of the slave trade and why you all are calling for repatriation and all that, repatriation or asking for financial compensation for what your ancestors going through is not the permanent solution. It will never be the permanent solution. It is not the permanent solution. It is a band-aid solution, right? It might fix your problem. Money might fix your problem today. It might fix your child's problem tomorrow. But what's going to happen after that, right? The same problems are going to persist, and the same issues are going to persist, right? And that's the reason why I don't propagate this repatriation thing. The true repatriation is for the leaders, the appropriate cultural leaders of each ethnicity, to really get to the root of the core of the problems. And the true repatriation is really the propagation of spiritual law, right? Teaching the people in your communities right? Why you all think that there's been a PNM government, People's National Movement, right? And I don't want to go into party politics something, because I'm not on that either. But the truth must be spoken, right? And somebody must speak it. Why do you all think that the People's National Movement have been in power for the majority of the time in our country's history, and the base, the political base, right? In the country are the people who are stereotyped as committing crime, and who actually do commit a lot of our crime, right? Who actually do commit a lot of crime is also stereotypes. Some of the stereotypes, as I always say, are truth. There's a truth to many stereotypes in our country. There's truth to many stereotypes in our country, right? Just like how I do have an issue saying that there are a lot of Indian men who have a problem with, say, if their wife's unfaithful, or for any little issue, even if unfaithfulness, so that's a next social problem, right? But even if and it doesn't have to be, right, with communication and so on, it doesn't have to be a social problem. But I have no problem saying, well, Indian men and so on, their first a lot of them, right, the ones that we hear about on the news and stuff, a lot of them turn to what, gramazone, or poison in the system, because they can't deal with certain realities, right? They can't deal with certain realities, and they end up committing suicide and all these things, right? And you would find that a lot happening in the East Indian community, and that is a stereotype, but there's truth to stereotype, right? There's truths to certain stereotypes, right? So these are the things that we are looking to revolutionize. Well, I am here speaking. I don't know who is the we, but I am here speaking about it, right? And just like that, there are certain stereotypical crime-riddled areas in our country where crime really do occur, right? So this is the whole point, to get leaders, people, young people who in the PNM and so on, and in the UNC, right? Youths who actually want to make a difference. The real difference could never be found in attaching yourself to any political party, right? And this is what people don't understand. People think that, if I could infiltrate this party, infiltrate that party, I can make a change. It's not going to happen, son, right? And I had a conversation with somebody who wanted to, just the other day, who wanted to infiltrate UNC, the United National Congress, right? So that they could like get a hand in there to make change. It is not going to happen. It will never happen. It didn't happen yesterday. It's not going to happen today, and it will not happen tomorrow. True change. Why is it that as I was saying, that the crime-riddled or stereotyped crime-riddled areas and areas where there's a lot of poverty and so on, right? Are the people who actually vote for that particular political party, right? So the voter base exists in particular areas. So you uplifting your government, and your government not doing squat for you. Every 5 years, you uplifting your government, and your government is not doing squat for you. How does that make sense? How will that ever make sense? But because I see in race, I see in color, because I see in, I thinking that you all thinking the prime minister, whichever party, is actually your ethnicity. These people probably more Chinese than anything else, right? They probably more Chinese than anything else in different color bodies, right? Just saying, right? So given these people your support, so I'm talking to the grassroots people here, giving these people your support in power like this is giving away your power, right? It's giving your power to them, right? And that is the problem, right? That is the problem. And that is where crime actually starts. That is how crime actually starts, you know. Given your internal power to external authority. That is the start of crime. You are conducting a crime, or you are conducting a criminal activity on yourself actually, right? That is crime conducted on yourself, if I were to be truly honest, right? You are robbing yourself, right? You are robbing yourself of that which you truly deserve, because these people will never be able to make the kind of change that you expect them to make, right? Just look at the history. It doesn't take a lot, right? Just look at the history and look at things repeating itself, right? So I say I'm applying for two parties because and that's why I say that I cannot, if you can't change that mentality about yourself, that one political party is actually the solution, and if you intend to be in a relationship with me and still go and vote, why do you even bother? Right? Don't even bother. We will be friends, right? We will be acquaintances. In fact, I'd really interested in you being my friend, I think, right? We will remain as acquaintances, because I'm not on that level of thinking again, where I thinking, and I have done with this long years now, right? I stopped voting on thing years now, because it is not the solution. It will never be the solution, right? It will never be the solution. Recycling political parties can never solve. You might think it is a solution. If it is a solution at all, it is a very temporary solution, right? It is given a family in whatever area you belong to, given a family $200 for your child to feature in a flicking political ad, waving one color banner, waving a color flag, right? You're selling your child out, boy. You're selling all your children out, putting your child on a political ad for them to sing and dance right foot PNM, left foot PNM is a sellout, and you all are selling out your children, right? It is a big sellout, and you all are selling out your children. That's just the fact of the matter.